The president's war strategy in Afghanistan will be one of his biggest tests to date. He will announce it tomorrow. There are certainly some very serious military ramifications, but there also are political ones for the president. While we are waiting for him to lay out his plans, the president has faced criticism from some who say he's putting troops at risk by not giving them enough support. Others who say the president promised to end the war. Joining us to discuss some of these questions, Heather Hurlburt, former speechwriter to Secretary of State's Madeleine Albright and Warren Christopher. Also, Mackenzie, Eaglen, National Security and Defense Budget Analyst at the Heritage Foundation. Welcome to both of you. Heather, as the president lays out this strategy tomorrow night, bits of it are leaking out. We understand he will ask for about 30,000 more troops, but he also plans to announce a way to wind down this war. A wise choice, a wise option in your view?
Absolutely, John, for two reasons. One, because the American people, after 8 years where the troop numbers went up and down, where we made a good start and then took our eye off the ball, want to know how are we going to actually make this stick this time so that we're not there for your kids and my kids' lives. And second, because as General McChrystal, General Petraeus, and Admiral Mullen have all said, the chief problem here is political as much as military. So Americans rightly want to know, how are we going to hand this back over to the Afghans and put them in the best possible position to solve their own problems going forward?
Senator John Kyle was on Fox News Sunday over the weekend, Mackenzie, said the talk of winding down the war is the wrong way to go. He said, talking of an exit strategy, sends the signal to others in that part of the world that Americans cannot be relied upon. What's your take, Mackenzie?
Well, that's true. America does not want to repeat its past mistakes, particularly in light of many Pakistanis' opinions of America as prone to pull out. But I mean, the bottom line here is that the basic concept of the McChrystal strategy is a sound one, and the president is choosing to provide reinforcements in the region. The question is if that's going to be enough. The original assessment proposed by General McChrystal was to achieve maximum success with 60 to 80,000 forces. And President Obama is choosing the Goldilocks option here. While I hope it succeeds and Congress needs to do everything in its power to ensure that it does, it may not be enough.
Heather, you've got a problem in Pakistan, obviously. A lot of these fighters who are going after American forces are coming over from Pakistan. You've got the Pakistani government in real bad shape. The leader there, President Zardari, just handed over control of the nation's nuclear forces, right, to the Prime Minister. So how do you address all of these issues at once?
Well, again, the key thing to remember, and this is something that our own military say over and over again, is that the primary challenge is actually not military. We can't, for example, ourselves secure Pakistan's nuclear weapons, so we've got to figure out how to help the Pakistanis do it. We've got to make it harder and ideally impossible for al-Qaeda to go back and forth across the border with impunity, for it to threaten American troops and the Afghan government in Afghanistan, and to threaten the Pakistani government and the Pakistani nuclear weapons in Pakistan. And just one correction to what Mackenzie said. If you remember, General McChrystal proposed 3 options, an 80,000 to 40,000 and a 20,000 option. And the way the military works is that you say, okay, what could you do if I gave you 80,000 troops? What could you do if I gave you 40,000? What could you do if I gave you 20,000? And if you think back and remember that between Presidents Bush and Obama, we've actually tripled the number of troops in Afghanistan since January 2007, it's clear that the numbers game by itself isn't the answer.
Well, but Mackenzie, this president, when he was campaigning, did say that this was the necessary war, so he does have to prosecute it effectively and bring it to a conclusion, right?
Sure, and nothing that the president has laid out yet to date, and what I expect him to say tomorrow, can be achieved without additional military forces. Security, governance, and development are a three-legged stool. One doesn't exist without the other. The entire thing would collapse. But security comes first. To achieve a stable government that can secure its own people and serve the people, and to provide construction projects and other means of providing for the Afghanistan people, all have to happen within a secure environment where the Taliban cannot operate freely, and that requires additional U.S. and coalition forces, period.
Mackenzie Eaglen and Heather Hurlburt, thank you both.
Thank you.